Hello and welcome to Finextra TV. I'm Alex Lipich and you join us at the Communify Fincentric Experience here in Miami. And I'm very pleased indeed to be kindly joined in the studio by Lachlan Hardy of Communify Fincentric. Lachlan, it's great to see you.
Thanks for having me, Alex.
Thank you for being here. Now, I understand you look after the Australian market side of things. So tell me, what are you seeing as the most common trends within wealth management in Australia? Let's start there.
That's a big question. I think, across the board, it's probably just the size of this market continuing to grow. Not only in self-directed wealth and the number of people that are trading, certainly after COVID and people, starting to get into this space through the traditional wealth management organisations, but also into super now, which is, something like over 4 trillion in funds under management in Australia, which is huge for our population. So, for a relatively small population globally to the size of the pie, how technology applies to that and how we learn globally what's best practice and how do groups like Communify play a part in that. There's a lot changing, but it's exciting times.
But it must be 4 trillion is a huge number as well.
It is, yeah.
So how closely aligned is superannuation to the self-directed market, would you say?
Operationally, these organisations are very, very different, but from our perspective, we see a lot of similarity. We're all about the unification of client and market data and how we better serve those people in the market. But there's a lot of correlation between the technology and data sets for member data and market data and what types of services we want to serve and can serve the supermarket. So those high value transactions or call to actions that we can serve members leverage a lot of the same technology patterns that we see in the self-directed wealth market. So a huge opportunity for the funds, but also for organisations like us to leverage learnings of other industries and move. So yeah.
It sounds like the opportunities are huge, like you say. Haven't got a crystal ball, but as best you can, looking into the future, what do you predict for the next 5 years or so within the market?
I'm certainly not an expert from the government's perspective, side of things, but I'd say the consolidation of the number of funds will slow. So the number of funds has been reducing for some time, but I think there's a real shift now towards, away from accumulation to decum. So as members move into retirement, what are the sets of services that funds should be providing those members and how does technology play a part in that? So I think there'll be a real shift in attention from that, and the government's already spoken about that. So really I'll see, probably the mid-market super groups who perhaps have got an ability to move a little bit quicker in terms of decisions, starting to try some technologies that have perhaps been at the fringes, and that's, we see a big opportunity, in that space. So yeah, it's certainly an exciting time to be, in the industry, and I'm, very proud to be representing the company in region.
Well, it certainly sounds like exciting times, and it'll be interesting to see how things develop over the next 5 years. We'll get you back in 5 years' time and see if you were right. But in the meantime, thank you so much for giving up your time to speak to us.
No
We
worries.
really appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Alex.
Thank you.